Okay, so something I've been thinking about recently is motivation and how to deal with it when I'm like really depressed and having chronic health stuff. So back in the day, I don't know, like in my teens and 20s, I definitely had issues with motivation, getting, or having momentum or something like that, and have things I want to do and wouldn't always follow through with things, whatever. But for the most part, if I wanted to do something and I set my mind to it, I could do the thing and I could have the motivation and get stuff done. And still struggle with a little bit of motivation stuff here and there for things like self-care or, you know, adulting type things. That's always a struggle for a lot of people when they're growing up, right? Recently what's hard is I still struggle with some of those motivation issues sometimes, but primarily I have a lot of health concerns that prevent me from doing the stuff that I really want to do and would otherwise really have the motivation for. So it's become much more of a momentum issue where if I'm just sort of in a fatigue state a lot, it's real hard to change my energy level to do other stuff like cleaning my house or this or that. Because I know that putting in that energy, I'm going to end up pretty tired after it. So if I go to the gym, or if I go for long walks with my dog, or if, I do cleaning or whatever, do a lot of reading or anything like that, even a lot of arts and crafts or something, those things don't bring me the same joy, the creative stuff, because it takes a lot of energy, and so my motivation is depleted because I don't oftentimes make the thing or do the thing I want to do and then be like, yay, I did the thing. I feel great about doing a thing, and I still feel like healthy and active and all the stuff. A lot of times after I finish something that I'm really happy with, whether, a lot of times it's like going to the gym, again, taking like an hour walk with my dog or something, the next day I'm just exhausted. And so it sets this cycle in my head of I want to do a thing, I do it, and then I am totally depleted the next day and I have no energy for a day or two. And that's so super frustrating, and it like really eats into the work I've been trying to do on like working on motivation and the concept of like, one thing I learned is the concept of motivation before, or sorry, reverse, action before motivation. So that means, maybe I don't feel like really going to take a shower, but I'm gonna go take the shower because it's good for me, and I don't always have to feel super motivated in order to do the thing. Sometimes, one of my friends says to her kids when they don't want to go to school in the morning is, you don't have to want to go to school, but you still have to go to school. Obviously, this is within the context of knowing her kids and when they actually are not well enough to go to school. But if it's just like, I don't really want to go shower, I don't really want to go to the gym, I don't really feel like walking my dog. It's like sometimes I just gotta go, okay, I'm gonna do the thing, and then I'm gonna be done with it. And I don't have to really want to do it. Sometimes I just say, this has to just get done. And that gets increasingly hard the more you have fatigue or chronic health issues or, extended mental health stuff. It gets really, really hard to do action before motivation because you do the action without the motivation, and then you're left, I'm left with sometimes a small sense of accomplishment because I, say walked my dog 15 minutes even though I really just was pooped, didn't want to do it. And then I get home and I still have to feed myself, I still have to do all the things that also take energy, and I'm like, I'm exhausted. I, did the thing that I thought I should do, and I'll have a whole video about shoulds at some point, but I did the thing that I thought would be good for me to do, and that I wanted for myself, and I wanted to complete, and then I still have all these other things to do that take a lot of energy, and it's really frustrating, and it's just a thing that I have to work on, accepting where I'm at, as well as finding ways to challenge myself that don't completely take away all of my energy to do the other stuff I want to do. But I think this is just really an important thing to think about when we have chronic illness, is that motivation is like, it doesn't even matter like how motivated you are, because if you don't have the energy to change momentum, you can have all these dreams and all these things that you want to do and all these different ways of wanting to, sorry about the camera moving, I'm just holding it with my hand because I'm so unprofessional. But yeah, motivation, like, we can have heaps of motivation, we can have all these thoughts, all these dreams, all these ideas, we can even know that, like, we have capacity for it in some ways, but that maybe our body just cannot keep up with what our mind wants to do, or vice versa. Maybe our mind can't keep up with what our body wants to do. And I feel like that is something that, you know, I don't know, I don't feel like I've really talked about it a lot with people or heard about it a lot, that, like, you know, motivation really is a lot more complicated when you have multiple health issues. And I think it's important to have acceptance for that and try to learn how to work on it. And yeah, I think probably you know, it's related to expectations and stuff too, in terms of how, for me personally, how my expectations can interfere with, you know, a healthy sense of self and all that stuff. I can get into spirals and all that, but that'll be for another video, talking about expectations and shoulds and stuff. But just wanted to put that out there, and, you know, that's it. Again, as usual, everything in life is meaningless. We got to give it our own meaning and stuff, but life is meaningless, and I'll see you next time.